Hi, initiates. Number 13 here. I know you're having a wonderful day, but you know what might make it even more wonderful? A promo from a fellow That's Not Canon podcaster.
As kids, we were a blank sheet of paper with no life experience, and now we are paper balls full of perfect imperfections. Join me on the Grown Up Podcast as I explore these imperfections with you and occasional guests to give a different perspective on life that will make you think just a little deeper. Along the way, we celebrate independence by catching the waves of independent musicians with the Now segment, better known as Naturally on a Wave. If you're ready to smooth your imperfections so you can show up for yourself, then search Grown Up, look for the perfectly imperfect paper ball, and press play. Tune into the Grown Up Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, and more. Oh yeah, remember to subscribe so you'll never miss an episode.
This week I'm turning the reins over to number 7 for a counterweight to our previous long and overly complex episode about the shaver mystery. If you're new to the podcast, that's just how it works. Some episodes you get an endless diatribe about people who believe in psychic sex dwarves, and some episodes you get something short and sweet. It's all good. So without further ado, take it away.
Jelly Time, presented by number 7. Jellies, jams, preserves, spreads, marmalades. What's the difference? Is there a difference? Jellies are made from strained fruit juice with no bits, pieces, seeds, or pulp. The fruit juice is often enhanced with sweet apple juice or white grape juice, which add sweetness to the finished product, but are so mild that they don't overwhelm the original flavor. Usually refined sugar is added as well. The resulting juice blend is then boiled to reduce it. Not only does this concentrate the flavor, but the sugars and pectins in the fruit naturally thicken and set. Sometimes additional pectins and cornstarch are added to ensure a consistent product. A good jelly should be translucent to the point where you can see right through it. It should only have the natural color of the juice used to make it. Jams are made using a similar process. The prime difference between jellies and jams are that jams are made with whole fruits that have been smashed or muddled, and are not filtered to remove particulates and chunks. Jams may be translucent, but you're not going to be able to see through them. Preserves are made from whole fruits, or at least large pieces of fruit. They are boiled to become soft, but are not mashed or macerated. Smaller chunks of fruit and berries will often lose their shape. So there's little difference between, say, strawberry jam and strawberry preserves. The resulting product is chunky and still somewhat translucent, but not always. Fruit spreads are also made with whole fruits, but no refined sugar is added during the process, only other fruit juices. They are usually opaque. Compotes are a type of fruit preserve made from whole fruit or chunks of fruit, which are soaked in a simple syrup for several hours, then slowly cooked. They are often seasoned with spices and a dash of liqueur, and sometimes thickened with additional pectin. The fruit in a good compote retains the majority of its original shape. A good example would be the peach topping on a peach melba. Use clean peaches right from the can if you must, but know that you're doing it wrong. Fruit butters are made from slow-cooked fruit. The fruit is boiled until soft and tender, then pureed and left in a specialized jelly straining bag to remove any excess liquid. At this point, spices may be added to the mix, along with sugar, honey, or any number of other sweeteners. The pureed fruit is then cooked again at a low temperature for several hours, evaporating more excess liquid. During the process, the sugars and other compounds oxidize and caramelize, darkening the finished puree. The end product has a consistency like soft butter. Marmalades are preserves made from citrus fruit, where pieces of the peel are added to the juice, sugar, and water as they boil down. The pulp of citrus fruits contain large quantities of natural pectin, so additional water is added during the process. The end product is similar to jelly, but the chunks of rind make it chunky like a jam while imparting additional flavor and fragrance. The earliest marmalades were made from quinces stewed in honey. In fact, the modern word marmalade is derived from the Portuguese marmalada, which just means quince preparation. These days, they're mostly made from oranges. Other non-citrus fruits can also be made into marmalade, though these days, it's rarely done. Every country has different rules and regulations on what can be used to make marmalade. In Britain and Canada, the guidelines are extremely strict about what goes into marmalade, while the rules here in the United States are a little looser. There are many different marmalade variations, including thick cut marmalade with large pieces of peel, imparting a tangy and bitter flavor. Thin cut marmalade with fine pieces of peel that has a milder flavor and texture. Black marmalade, which is enhanced with brown sugar or molasses. Vintage marmalade that is set aside to mature and develop flavors. And flavored marmalades with added flavors including different types of citrus rind, spices, and sometimes booze. There are other ways to make fruit and vegetable spreads. Freezer jams are popular. I recently had a friend tell me about a zucchini jam she was making. A mixture of cooked zucchini and pineapple, using Jell-O as a thickener. Because freezer jams often use substitutes like gelatin as a thickener, they are not shelf-stable and therefore not true jams or jellies. Still delicious, though. You don't really need to know the minute differences between various fruit spreads to enjoy them. Let who you are determine your choice. Can't stand lumps? Suffering from diverticulitis? And can't have seeds? Go for jelly. Other than that, pick a flavor you enjoy. That's all good. They're all delicious sweetened fruit in a preparation that lasts longer than fresh fruit, which enables you to use it in any number of wild and wonderful ways, from elaborate sauces to just slathering it on toast. So let's go get our jam on, or jelly, or preserves. The last time we did a food episode, Series 9, Crunchy or Wrong, which was about peanut butter, we ended with a taste test of various peanut butters conducted by our international flavor expert, Number 6. We figured it was only fair to do the same for peanut butter's eternal companion, jelly. Here's a, highly edited, recording of that event. Enjoy. The first one here is a grape jelly, a muscat jelly. If you'd like to take a little bit and taste it and tell me what your thoughts are on it.
It tastes kind of good, but aftertaste.
Oh yeah. It's kind of tart.
It's of a more adult grape flavor than I think you usually get in your jellies.
Yeah.
So would you ever eat that again?
Not really, but the aftertaste is not that good.
What did you think of the texture of jelly?
I think the texture was a 10 out of 10.
This is strawberry preserves. That has bits of the fruit in it with seeds. Is it okay? What's wrong with it?
The seeds.
The seeds? You don't like seeds?
No, I don't like the seeds.
It's very tart.
Yeah, but
The flavor is really good.
for me, not into it.
How would you say the texture is different from the jelly?
A freckle. I kind of give that one a 2 out of 10. Not really into it.
Alright, this is cherry.
I'm really kind
Oh,
of
cherry preserves. Now there's no seeds in this.
No,
Is it too tart?
it's way too tall for me.
The texture of the jelly was very consistent, right?
Yeah,
Whereas the preserves has little bits in it.
it has a little bit.
So you're getting more of the fruit, but that also maybe introduces a texture which I think maybe you're not entirely into.
Yeah.
Alright,
Yeah.
This is a blackcurrant jam, which is the whole fruits with some sugar and juice added. It's the bits, isn't
We have
it?
our first spit out of the day.
Yeah,
No.
blackcurrants have spit, but it was the only actual jam I could find.
But you can see how all three of them are different, right? Like this has little chunky bits of fruit in it, as opposed to the other two, which just had, well, the one had nothing and the other one just had little bits.
Yeah,
Not a fan.
not a fan.
Currants are not for everybody.
It's good. A lot of people use them for when they roast meats in the sauce or has a flavoring of the meat, like lamb or beef.
Is there like a thing of like a 0 out of 10?
This is raspberry preserves.
You still ate it all.
Is it the seeds?
Yeah.
What about the flavor?
Good.
You just like it without the seeds.
Yeah.
So what's your rating that one?
A 4 out of 10.
Harsh but fair.
This one is orange marmalade.
Have you ever had marmalade before, Charlotte?
No.
No?
It is made with oranges, so it's going to be tart.
I
And
already see the seeds and stuff.
No, it's not seeds. It's actually the skin, candied.
I don't know. Where they go.
There you go.
Yeah. Here, give her. She got a teeniest tiny little chunk.
Oh, so tart.
That was the worst one I ever tasted.
What do you not like? Do you not like the tartness, or did you get a piece of the peel in there?
Got a piece of peel because I don't like peels.
Okay.
It's a lot more tart than all the other ones that we try. The tart ones. That one's a way lot tart than the other tart ones.
Now this is black cherry fruit spread. It's all natural, and it's just a reduction of the fruit flavor itself of the black cherries. You got a whole piece of cherry in yours. You don't like the jelly?
You didn't like it?
I didn't like that. It's just eating inside this.
You don't like the whole fruit bits. That's okay.
1 out of 10. I didn't really like it, but that skinny Joe one,
The fruit spread?
yeah. I kind of give it like a 6 out of 10.
It's good flavor, but you don't like the chunks.
Yeah.
So what did you think of all these different jams and jellies and preserves and butter and spread? Do you feel you know more about them now?
Kind of, because
It's all a matter of how much fruit and stuff is inside.
well, I do like cherries, but not them like tuna in the jelly. Yeah, I just like the fruit, but not them mashed up in tuna and jelly.
Well, they did that to preserve them so they could have them all year round before they had refrigerators and freezers and. Well, thank you for tasting with us. That's all for this week, initiates. See you soon. Until then, qui minime sciant, optime scire.
This episode was produced by Dorothy White for the Ancient and Esoteric Order of the Jackalope, and That's Not Canon Productions. Our theme song is Dramedy by Scott Roosh. This episode is released under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial Share-alike 4.0 International License. All rights reserved, all wrongs reversed. The full script and sources of this episode can be found at orderthejackalope.com. That's orderthejackalope.com with hyphens between the words. Do you have thoughts about this episode? Why not head on over to our Discord server and share them? There's a link in the show notes. Or reach out to us on social media. We can be found at Order Jackalope on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Reddit, and Facebook. If social media is not your thing, you can always send us an old-fashioned email at jackalope@orderthejackalope.com. We're looking for new lodge members. We'll initiate anyone into the secret mysteries. All you have to do is share a secret mystery of your own first. Go visit our website and click Join Us for more information.